did as well. In Australia, we have almost pure marsupial evolution and a magnificent panoply of parallelisms to what was going on in the other parts of the world. We have marsupial wolves, marsupial cats, marsupial rabbits, marsupial flying squirrels, moles, mice. You know more about it than I do. The natural experiment of isolating a continent and letting mammal evolution happen independently from the rest of the world has shown the power, the predictability of evolution by natural selection. The marsupial fauna of Australia is different from the non-marsupial faunas of the rest of the world and the marsupial fauna of South America. It's different, but with uncanny parallels, uncanny similarities, the same kinds of need, the need for, I won't call it need, there is a trade open, a way of life open to browsers, to grazers, to hunters, to large carnivores, to small carnivores, medium-sized carnivores, to gliders, to burrowers. All these different ways of life are there for the taking. They were there for the taking when the dinosaurs went extinct and left all those shoes empty and waiting to be filled. And so you got replacements to all the different ways of life that the dinosaurs had hitherto filled. And they were filled independently in Australia and in South America and in the rest of the world. The pattern of geographical distribution, just what you would expect if evolution had happened, not what you would expect on certain alternative ideas. It is almost too ridiculous to mention it, but I'm afraid I have to because of the more than 40% of the American population who, as I lamented in Chapter 1, accept the Bible literally. Think what the geographical distribution of animals should look like if they'd all dispersed from Noah's Ark. Shouldn't there be some sort of law of decreasing species diversity as we move away from an epicenter, perhaps Mount Ararat? I don't need to tell you that that is not what we see. Why would all those marsupials, ranging from tiny pouched mice through koalas and bilbies to giant kangaroos and diprotodonts, why would all those marsupials, but no placentals at all, have migrated en masse from Mount Ararat to Australia? Which route did they take? Why did not a single member of their straggling caravan pause on the way and settle in India, perhaps, or China, or some haven along the Great Silk Road? Why did all the penguins undertake the long waddle south to the Antarctic? Not a single one to the equally hospitable Arctic. Once again, I'm sorry to take a sledgehammer to so small and fragile a nut. But I have to do so because of the more than 40% of the American people who believe literally in the story of Noah's Ark. We should be able to ignore them and get on with our science, but we can't afford to because they control school boards. They homeschool their children to deprive them of access to proper science teachers. And they include many members of the United States Congress, some state governors, and even presidential and vice presidential candidates. They have the money and the power to build institutions, universities, even a museum where children ride life-size mechanical models of dinosaurs with saddles, which they are solemnly told coexisted with humans.